guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the books I read in January and also my TBR for February. It's hard to believe that it's already February. I feel like I blinked and January was over. So, pretty crazy. I did not set a goal for the books that I wanted to read in January. I kind of just read as I felt like it, and that was really fun. I was able to read 4 books this month. I feel really good about that. My goal for the year is 26 books, so we only have 22 to go. I feel like we can do it. We have 11 months to do it. So, I'm feeling good. If you would like to go back and watch my TBR for the year, I'll go ahead and link it here, where I talk about all of the books on my yearly TBR list. Today, however, we're going to be talking about my February TBR list. But before we can even get to that, we have to talk about the books that I read in January. We have so much to do. I thought it would be fun to not only talk about the books that I read, but also the format in which I read them. So we'll start with my 2 physical books for the month, and then I also had 2 audiobooks. So we'll start with my physical books first. All right, the first book that I read this month was The Hunger Games. You probably have read this book. I'm gonna be honest. You know what this is about at least. You've probably seen the movie. This book is so good. On a reread, I gave this book 5 stars. My first 5-star read of the year. I felt like I was 13 again, reading the stories, connecting with Katniss, loving Peeta, and especially going back and reading this book after reading both Songbirds and Snakes and also Sunrise on the Reaping. It really changes the story, honestly. It was so fascinating. It felt like I was reading it for the first time, and I feel like this is my sign to maybe do more rereads this year because there is no feeling like it. It is so fun because obviously I know the story, so I was able to just dive in a little bit deeper and really just like hold on to the details. I just love this book. I really would love to read the trilogy, the whole trilogy this year, but it's one of those things where I don't feel like I need to read it back to back. I feel confident in my ability to like hold on to the story just because I already know it. You know what I mean? Whereas like some other series, I feel like I want to read it. Bing, bang, boom. You know what I mean? I feel like that was a perfect segue into the next book I'm going to talk about because also the first of a trilogy. The next book I read this month is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I loved this book. I really loved this book. We are just starting on 2 really great highs. I am giving this book a 4.5. I know. I was absolutely blown away by this book. I've had it sitting on my shelf for probably a year. This is a YA romantasy. It is our classic trials, enemies to lovers. There's a love triangle. There's the falling of a kingdom. There's balls. There are some really great love interests. There's really great banter, which I always love. I loved this book. I thought it was so good. I finished this book last night and I immediately put the next book on hold. So, literally cannot wait to read the next one. I hear it's maybe not as good, but I'm gonna make that call for myself. This was a great book. Okay, this next book I listened to on audiobook and I'm ready for this to be controversial. I feel like I'm kind of scared to give my take, but I'm ready. I'm prepared. If you can't tell by the themes of like my TBRs, the books I've read, who I am as a person, I love romance, fantasy, magic, castles, balls, love, happy endings. And you know, this book that I read didn't have any of that. And that was The Long Walk by Stephen King. The Long Walk is about a group of 100 boys who enter this contest, which is the Long Walk, and it takes place in Maine. Basically, they just walk until they either can't, or if they drop below the certain speed, they will buy their ticket, which is code for taking the stairway to heaven. The story follows a boy named Garrity who is along for the walk. It just shows him having his mental struggles, his physical struggles. It shows how he's reacting to other people buying their ticket. It's so intense. It was so intense. And while The Long Walk was really good, I really enjoyed the writing style and the flow of the story. It just wasn't my style. And I think that's okay. Ultimately, I'm giving this a 2.5 star rating. Just because it doesn't fit into like what I love in a book. I can acknowledge that like the writing is great, the story is great. It was definitely outside of my comfort zone. I'm glad I read it. It was just maybe a little bit too like gory, graphic, intense. It kind of scared me, honestly, which like probably the point, you know. Stephen King's out here to make you not sleep at night, but like I wasn't sleeping at night, you know? So while I am giving this a 2.5, that isn't to say that it's a bad book, that you shouldn't read it. It's just to say that it's not really my style. That brings us to the final book that I read in January, which was also an audiobook, and it was The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. I didn't know a lot about the 8 Passengers lore, for lack of a better word. I really didn't know anything about the connections side of the story. I knew about the filming, vlogging, family vlogging side, but I didn't know anything about when they started to like get into the cult of connections. I don't even know. It was just captivating. I listened to the audiobook version of this, so I listened to Sherry Frankie tell the story herself. It is so powerful to hear an author of a memoir read the memoir to you. Something about it is just so incredible to me. I really think it's one of my favorite ways to enjoy a book. I gave this book a 4.5 star rating. The writing was amazing. The story was incredible. The things that these children, Sherry specifically, went through, incredible. And through the whole story, Sherry held on to her humanity and her grace and her faith, and it was such a good book. I really recommend this book, especially the audiobook version. So good. You should definitely give it a read. Okay, those are the 4 books that I read in January. Pretty good reads. I had some really high ratings, which is crazy. I feel like when I decided to start the year and have this be like the year of the book, I didn't expect to like jump in so hard. I didn't expect it to be so good, but it was. So I feel like I'm just riding the high of some really good books, and I am so excited to get into my February reads. I tried to pull just a couple books. I decided that I would only pull 4 because that's how many I read in January, so that felt realistic, doable. I can always read more, and if I read less, it's no big deal. I'm a human being. And things happen. So I only decided to pull 4 books, starting with Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the second book to the Powerless series. As soon as I finished this, I put the second one on hold at my local library because I simply need to dive back in because this was so good. I am so excited to continue the story of Peyton and Kai. I had an idea of where I thought the story would go, and it did not go that way because I feel like this book is very similar to The Hunger Games, to Divergent, to Red Queen. It's very similar to stories that I've read before, and they kind of all follow the same path. And this one at the end took a hard right, and I'm really excited to jump back into that. Next up on the list is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. This book is on my top 10 books that I want to read in 2026. My sister reached out to me and said, hey, I saw this was on your top 10 book list. I just read it. It was really good. Love a recommendation. Thank you so much. I am really excited to read this book. I thought the premise was great. I'm thinking I maybe want to listen to this on audiobook. I feel like that's kind of fun. I used to really love true crime podcasts. I listened to Morbid, I listened to Crime Junkie. I really, really loved true crime podcasts. I just thought they were interesting and fun. I shouldn't say fun, but they were kind of fun. I just love a story, and I think it's really interesting to kind of dive in to how crazy people can be and how sick and twisted. That makes me sound crazy, but I do think it's interesting. Unfortunately, those things started to make me very anxious. So I took a huge step back from true crime podcasts, and I've slowly been introducing more thriller and mystery books into my mix. Something about it being a fiction book makes me feel better. So all that to say that I'm really excited to dive into a mystery thriller. Next up on my list is a book that I have been meaning to get to for so long, and that is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I started the Throne of Glass series last summer and I didn't finish it. I put in a hold for The Assassin's Blade on Libby a month and a half ago, and it's almost ready. So as soon as it becomes available, hopefully in February, I hope I don't have to wait until March, but I absolutely will. As soon as it becomes available, I will be diving into this. I miss the characters, I miss this story, I miss Aurelia. That's how I say it in my head. If that's not how you say the name of the world, please don't tell me. I am just so freaking excited to finish this series. I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. And I cannot wait to read Assassin's Blade. And just like that, we are at the final book of my February TBR. What do you think it's gonna be? Place your bets. I'll give you a second. Okay, the final book on my February TBR is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I read The 7-Year Slip for the first time last year, and it was so stinking good. I'm not usually a strict romance kind of girl. They're just like down here. If this is like my top genre, they're like down here. Some things are way down here. And it's like up here. That's pretty good. Ashley Poston's writing is so whimsical. The 7-Year Slip was so good. I loved the idea of the magic apartment. She just weaves in these magical, mystical elements that I just really enjoy as a fantasy kind of girl. And I just think that The Dead Romantics is going to follow the same sort of vibe, and I'm really, really excited to jump into that one. I'm thinking I'm probably going to listen to it on an audiobook just because it just sounds really lighthearted and fun and something I can listen to on my walks when I go to the grocery store. You know the drill. And that concludes my February TBR, and I guess that brings us to the end of this video. If you like this video and want to see more of me, want to see more of my book takes, want to know more of my rankings, please subscribe. Please leave me a comment if you have any recommendations for me. Please like this video so I know to make more of them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see y'all real soon in the next one. Bye!